Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome Pakistan International School Taif Virtual Learning System. This lecture is for second year boys and girls Pakistan Studies. And you know that we have started chapter 5. Today we will continue chapter 5. Chapter 5, Administrative Structure of Pakistan and Good Governance. We started this chapter, and the first topic of this chapter is federal government, various institutions and their functions. We discussed in detail this topic in the previous lecture, what is federal government and the various institution and also the functions and the duties of these institutions. Today our topic which we will discuss in detail, that is Islamic perspective of good governance, and the last topic which is given in this chapter according to your reduced syllabus, that is administration in the era of Hazrat Umar Raziallahu Ta'ala Anha. Administrative structure, we discussed this topic in the previous lecture, a very little review of this lecture. Administrative structure of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, of course, is based on the 1973 constitution, and also I told you under this constitution Pakistan has been declared an Islamic Republic of Pakistan, and Pakistan is the constitution. According to the constitution, Pakistan will be a federal state and having the area falling in four categories. What are these categories? First, four provinces. You know the name of the provinces: Punjab, KPK, Sindh, and Balochistan. Second, federal capital. Name the capital of Pakistan, that is Islamabad, and also the areas joining it. Number three, federally administered tribal agencies or the tribal areas, FATA, and the northern areas, tribal areas adjoining the KPK and Balochistan. Then also I told you there are five governments working in Pakistan. One, the main central government, and the four governments in provinces. In four provinces, we call it provincial government. And also the duties are divided power between the provinces and the center under the 1973 constitution is divided and has been made the two lists. For number one, federal list; number two, concurrent list. Also we discuss under the federal list what departments, and under the concurrent list organ of the federal government and their functions. The three main organs of the federal government, you know that Pakistan having a parliamentary type of government, and the main three organs of the government: the legislative means the law forming body of the state, and federal legislative of Pakistan has named parliament, and it has two houses, bicameral. I told you bicameral mean two houses. Parliament has two houses, National Assembly and Senate. Also we call National Assembly lower house and Senate upper house. The second organ of the government, executive, and Prime Minister and the President. Here we discuss then the last organ of the government, the federal judiciary, Supreme Court. The legislative, I told you, the law forming body of the state and composition of the federal parliament, the National Assembly, the Senate, the executive. We discuss here the Prime Minister, the President, the Prime Minister, head of the government, President, head of the state. I also told you in the parliamentary type of government, Prime Minister has direct right, but the President has no direct rights. And the Prime Minister is the head of the government. The federal judiciary, in this topic we discuss the Supreme Court, the highest court of the country, and also we discuss the rights of the Chief Justice and the duties of the Chief Justice. Today our topic is concept of good governance in Islam. You know that Islam is a complete code of life, and here we will discuss what is the concept of good governance. Governance mean ruling or control. In Islam, Islamic pattern of state demands that the relationship between the individual and the state, it should be organized on a pattern that should neither cause stress and oppressions for the individual, and it doesn't allow the government to exert, to apply its authority, its power, its rights. Autocratically means uh, dictatorship, like a dictatorship, one man government, and it does not allow to dictate or to order or to rule. But Islam wants to create a political culture based on complete balance between the objectives of the state and aspirations of the citizens. These Islamic qualities or principles or rules can be upheld by observing certain principles. The Islamic conduct of state is based on the following guiding principles. Now we will discuss the guiding principles of an Islamic state. What is the concept of good governance in Islam? And now we will discuss the guiding principles or the qualities or the principles of an Islamic state. Islam pattern of the state demands, I told you, the relationship between the individual and the state, it should be organized, it should be managed on a pattern that should neither cause stress or oppressions for the individual, and it does not allow the government to apply its power, its rule, authority autocratically. Also, what Islam desires or wants to create a political, cultural based on complete balance between the objectives of the state and also the aspirations of the citizens. And these principles now we will discuss one by one. What are the Islamic or the guiding principles, conduct of state? First, selection of the head of the state. Of course, there will be the head of the state, and how in Islamic state it will be elected or selected. People should be allowed to exercise their free will in the selection of the head of the state. People, they are free, they have the full right to select the head of the state, and he should be a person distinguished due to his outstanding, okay, what are the qualities of that person? He should be outstanding merits of knowledge and god fearing, taqwa. And also Quran explain this, verily most honored of you in the sight of Allah is he who is the most righteous of you. So, what is the concept in the Islamic State? First of all, the selection of the head of the state, and the people are free and they are allowed to select the head of the state. But for the head of the state, he should be outstanding merits of knowledge and also God fearing taqwa. Next, equal before law, superiority of law. All the institution of the state should be run strictly according to law, and all the citizens, they are equal before the law. No one is superior, no one is having extra right. All the citizens of the state, they are equal before the law in an Islamic state. No discrimination, no differences, no superiority. All the citizens of the state, they are equal, having equal rights. No discrimination among the citizens should be made on the basis of color, race, place of domicile, language, creed or gender. They are all equal in Islamic state, and no one is superior, no one is having extra rights, no differences, no discrimination. Next, basic rights of the citizens, fundamental rights. Also, we discuss in detail. Did you remember in Khutbah Hajjatul Wida, the basic rights of the citizens? What are the main rights or the basic or the fundamental rights of the citizens? Basic social, political, religious rights of the citizen should be safeguarded, and all the citizens should enjoy equal freedom. Usury should be strictly prohibited. Usury means interest at unreasonably high rates. Interest. It should be strictly prohibited, and gathering of wealth discouraged in an Islamic state. Collection of ushur and zakat It should be the duty of the state to collect ushur, zakat, and sadaqat from the wealthy and wealthy people and spend it for the uplift of the people and the very needy people. Next, basic human needs. The basic human needs, the state should be take the responsibility. This is the duty of the state. This is the duty of the head of the state, should take the responsibility of providing all the citizens with the basic human needs. And what are the basic human needs? Of course, food, shelter, dress, old age pension and health facilities. These are all the basic human needs, so it must be provided by the state, by the head of the state, and these are the basic needs. Discourage all the moral vices. What are the moral vices in an Islamic state? It should be discouraged, it should be removed from the society. The an Islamic state should discourage all the moral vices like lying, breaking of the promise, backbiting, untrue allegation, miserlance, greed, and avarice, extreme greed, taking bribe, theft, robbery, falling short the balance and the measurement, drinking, gambling, arrogance, hypocrisy. These are all the social or the moral vices, and it should be removed. It should be discouraged and it should be prohibited in an Islamic state. Promotion of virtue. The state should encourage for the promotion of virtue by applying how it can be applied in the state. Promotion of virtue, it can be applied the method of education and persuasion. Widows, orphans, and destitute should be given help from the Baitul Mal. Okay, what is Baitul Mal? Baitul Mal was established first time in the time of the period of the second caliph, Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha. And Baitul Mal is an Arabic term that is translated as house of money or house of wealth. And historically, it was a financial institution responsible for the administration of taxes in Islamic State, established and especially in the early Islamic Caliph. An Islamic state should try to inculcate in its citizens the quality of self respect, love of humanity, tolerance, forgiveness, fair dealing, humility, politeness, fraternity, modesty, kindness, consideration of the fellow beings. These are all the qualities, and it should be promoted in the Islamic society. And it is also the state should work for the promotion of virtue by applying the method how it can be applied by the method of education. Next, free and compulsory education. Free and compulsory education, it is also the duty of an Islamic state to provide compulsory and free education for all the citizens. The education scheme should include not only basic literacy but also higher Islamic learning, linguistics, as well as the physical and social science on the highest possible level. Okay, what is the duty for education? It should be provided by the state free education to its citizen, and the education does not only include the basic literacy but also the higher Islamic learning, linguistics, as well physical social science on the highest possible level. Rights of the non-Muslim. Many times also we have discussed the rights of the non-Muslims. It is the duty of the Islamic State, the rights of the Muslims, these and the punish the criminal. Duty of an Islamic state to establish peace and punish the criminal in an Islamic state. Muslim and non-Muslim citizens have equal social rights. The non-Muslim citizens rather excel in certain matters. For example, they are exempt from compulsory military services. This is like in Islamic State, the Muslims and non-Muslims, they are having equal social rights. They are free according to their worship, and they are free to go to their worship places. But some where, for example, they are exempt from compulsory military service. The non-Muslims should not, and the non-Muslims, they citizens should be given complete freedom for the preservation of their culture, language, personal law, places of worship, and religious institution. They are free for this purpose. They are free for to promote or to preserve for the preservation of their culture, language, institution. But no person should be forced to pay the tax for the maintenance and support of the religious institution. What is the meaning of this line? In an Islamic state, non-Muslims are not forced or to pay a tax for the maintenance and the support for the Islamic purpose or the religious institution or the preaching of a religion he or she himself or herself does not profess or follow. The last, maintenance of peace. Maintenance of peace, an Islamic state is established not merely for the maintenance of peace, it has higher objectives to achieve, and it has to work for the moral and the spiritual uplift of the citizen. It prepares them for a successful life in their world and deliverance in the hereafter, the day after. The Holy Quran enlists the paramount objectives of an Islamic state in the following word. Also, Quran explain this, and those who, if we establish them in the land, establish regular prayer and give regular charity, enjoin the right and forbid wrong, with Allah rests the end and decision of all affair. In Islamic state, is established not only for the maintenance or promotion of peace, it has highly objectives or the purpose, and it has to work for the moral and the spiritual promotion or the uplift of its citizen, and it prepares them for a which for a successful life in the world. Okay, student, today our topic is finished. One more long question. It is very important question, and it can be in your paper. Explain the concept of good governance in Islam. First of all, you will explain the good governance, and then you will write all the guiding principles of based guiding principles. The Islamic conduct of state is based on the following guiding principles, and you will explain one by one all these principles. And also it can be asked in short question, write the guiding principles of the good governance. You will write these only these headings or these points. You will not explain. If it will be in long question, you have to write all in detail. Thank you, student. Also learn this question at home. Hope you understand today's lecture. Have a nice day.